What's up? It's George the Fragrance Apprentice, and here are 8 fragrances I can't stop wearing. So I've got quite a large collection at this point. Got a lot of different fragrances at my disposal, a lot of different fragrances that I could wear. But I find every now and then that I'll have fragrances that I keep going back to and that just keep popping up in my rotation. And so I wanted to make a video of just 8 fragrances that are just continuously on repeat in my collection that I'm constantly just going back to at the moment. So here are the 8 fragrances. Number 8 is a fragrance that is incredibly new to my collection. In fact, it is my most recent purchase. This is Stronger With You Intensely by Emporio Armani. I don't like the original Stronger With You. If you're not a fan of the original, well, you and me both. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like it. I find it a little bit too designery, a little bit too generic. But this one, this has got a lot of sugar, a lot of sweetness, but it's not over the top. It's very, very enjoyable. It's very palpable. It's quite delicious in a way. You know that I love my gourmands, I love vanilla, I love tonka bean, and this has just got that. And one of the big things is that it is most definitely a beast. And that's always great. It's always great to have something that is incredibly long lasting, and this really is. Whenever I wear this, I know that I've basically signed a commitment for the day, and if I put it on in the morning, it's just going to continuously go until the night, and maybe even, you know, the next morning, and I'll have to get up and shower it off. It's an incredibly intense, as the name would suggest, fragrance. It's brilliant, it's wonderful. It's one of these rare designer gems that's just kind of got everything for it, and it has gotten me some positive attention, even though I've only just got it. Number 7 is a fragrance that I was lukewarm about when I first got it. This was given to me by the man who created it, and I did a first reaction with Chris from Fragmental, and you can see that I'm interested, but I'm not overly impressed. This was a bit of a slow burn, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I've been wearing this and that I've started to really enjoy it. This is Signature by the House of Sahara. This is something that is definitely inspired by 1980s powerhouses, but it's also got a really good touch of aromatic lavender that really calms everything down. This is old school. If you're really into new school, sugary, sweet designer fragrances, this is really not going to be for you. This is a throwback to a much different time in fragrance. It's very, very mature. It's a fantastic signature scent. It's for everyday wear, and it's for a gentleman who, you know, has a good job, who is a leader, all that good stuff. It's something that harkens back to a much simpler time. Some people will not like it. You know, some people will not enjoy it. They'll want something that's a lot more modern. But I'm an old school guy. You know that I'm an old school guy. I enjoy old black and white films. I love nostalgia to the 50s, the 60s, even though I certainly wasn't there at that time period. And even the 80s, you know, everybody loves a little bit of 80s nostalgia, and this is 80s nostalgia reinvented into the modern world. Number 6, this is probably going to be the last time that I ever am able to recommend this fragrance on this channel until, well, after I check how it's doing in February. This is Angelman Pure Malt. You already know that I love this to bits, and it's kind of weird now that I know that February is here, and now that I know that this fragrance really is endangered and it's going to be changing and it's going to be reformulated. The more I'm sort of wearing it, the more, which is a stupid idea. That's very counterintuitive because I'll run out of this. Luckily, I do have a backup bottle. But yeah, this is a fantastic fragrance. It's very near and dear to my heart. Pure malts. Got a lot of tradition with Scotland. It's to do with whiskey. It's a very, very beautiful fragrance, and it's something that just can really capture people's imagination and captures people's hearts. Very similar to the city that I shot the review of this in, Edinburgh. I took a friend to Edinburgh recently. She fell in love with it immediately. It's just that kind of a city because it's just so warm and cozy and inviting. Very similar to Angelman Pure Malt. It's kind of boozy, kind of gourmandy. Yeah, you already know everything about Pure Malt, and if you don't, I've got a review of it that you can just go and watch. I'll put a little card up here, and I shot that review in Edinburgh and in all the whiskey shops. Number 5 is from the house of Happyland, and this is Cure Cafe. I have really been wearing this a tremendous amount, and I'm really starting to figure out exactly what I get from this. As the name would suggest, you've got cafe, that's coffee, and cure, which is French for leather. It is those two combinations put together, but I really understand what this is. This is a coffee cake. It's a coffee cake with cream, with lashings of the leather accord from Tuscan leather. I don't know how EJ does this, but you've got two very heavy elements there, coffee, leather. This fragrance should be an absolute beast. It should almost be very cloying and very hard to breathe whilst wearing it, but it's not. I don't know how he does it, but he makes the fragrances very light. He makes the fragrances very underweight, even though the notes would suggest otherwise. They suggest that they're going to be hard on you. But no, you can wear this and you've definitely got those two notes, the coffee and the leather, but it's easy to wear, it almost underperforms in a way with the projection because it's quite light and fluttery and feathery. And I think that really works in its favour, and because of that, this is probably going to be something I'm going to wear quite a lot in springtime. But yeah, I really love this. It's probably my favourite out of the line that I've tried. So Cure Cafe by Happyland. It's reasonably priced as well, but it's a great little fragrance. Number 4, this gentleman is getting a ton of hype. Allow me to add to it. This is Terrence Hughes. This is tobacco, oud and vanilla. I've mentioned this before, but one of the things that's great about this is that it's just incredible. I'm planning on doing a review of it, and as you can see, I've actually put quite a little dent in it. That might not look like a lot, but actually considering I've got all the fragrances behind me and the fact that this projects a tremendous amount, that is actually quite a hefty dent that I've put into it, more than even I thought. Why? Because it's homemade. It smells homemade. It smells as though it's not made in a factory. It doesn't smell as though it's too meticulously, systematically created by like a machine or like by an office or by a team of people. It smells like this is a vision by somebody who has got something set in stone of what they want. They're creating a character, they're creating a scene, they're creating a setting, and that really translates. I remember the first time I smelt this, I was completely blown away, and you can tell that it's very indicative of Aaron. He's a very bombastic character, he's very controversial, he is who he is, and that really translates to his fragrances. Tobacco, oud and vanilla. What do you think that's going to smell of? It's exactly what you think it's going to smell of. It's got that nice, harsh yet herbal, earthy tobacco. It's got this oud, which is really the center point of the fragrance, and then you've got this really beautiful, cumbersome, boozy vanilla that just puts it all together. It is so strong as well, man. This is so strong of a fragrance. It's incredible. It's a real work of art, and it's just something else, and I love things that are unique. He really knocked it out of the park with this one. I haven't smelt his others, so don't even ask me. But yeah, he's a very talented individual. Number 3, Boss the Scent Absolute. Do I need to say anything more about this fragrance? I've said everything under the sun about this fragrance. I just love it. I'm not even going to speak any more about it because I really feel as though I'm a broken record. But this is the greatest designer release of last year. It's unstoppable. It's so beloved. It's so well done. It is everything that you could want out of a modern day designer fragrance right now, in my humble opinion. Check out my review, and if you see it in store, honestly, go and check it out. So we come to the final 2. This is number 2. This is Bleu de Chanel Parfum. This was released to very mixed reactions when it first came out. I wasn't that really into it. I bought this by chance. I literally bought this by chance for the creation of a video, which was the Dior Sauvage Parfum versus Bleu de Chanel Parfum. I had no really interest in Bleu de Chanel. The EDT really doesn't work with me. The EDP didn't really work with me. So I was stunned when I put this on my skin, and I was getting compliments from my camera woman and people we were talking to. And so I thought, wow, this actually really smells good on me. And I love this now. Truly love this so much. This is going to really kill it in my spring collection. In my spring top 10 list, this really is coming for that top 5, for that top 3 placement. It's got that blue citrus aquatic that we all know and love, but it's got such sophistication, it's got such beauty, and it's got this real aquatic edge to the point where I'm smelling a lot of like sea elements, a lot of marine elements, even like a little bit of a seaweed kind of thing, mixed in with some incense. This really is not just a run-of-the-mill designer release. This isn't even a run-of-the-mill Chanel release. This is something very different, very unique, but yet still falls in line with that whole designer genre. So I'm interested by it, I'm intrigued by it, I'm really enjoying it because of those reasons. And hey, you know, people around me enjoy it. So it's a complete win-win. But the fragrance that I am turning to the most, which is not something that I thought I would ever say with this fragrance, because when I first got this, I was like, okay, cool, that's nice. But I actually more associate this with Chris from Fragmental. This is more fragrance that I'd imagine he'd wear. But I've like had so many times in the past couple of weeks, 3 weeks now, where I'll wake up and I'm like, I know I'm wearing this. I'm just gonna wear this. I'm just gonna wear this. And that is from the house of Tom Ford. It's Omri Leather. Just absolutely knocking it out of the park. I think it's because it's so straightforward. I think that that's the thing that really gets me. Just so straightforward. It's, look, we're streamlining the leather note that we do so well in the Tuscan leather, and we're just gonna make it as it is, straightforward, you know, shooting from the hip. There it is. And then as we glide down, it has this nice little sweetness, this nice little designery sweetness that makes it very relatable to people around you. It's not as harsh, it's not as brisk, it's not as over the top, and it's certainly not as out there as Tuscan leather, or even all the other leather type of fragrances that Tuscan leather inspired. It's kind of Tom Ford just going to the root of what they want to do and what they want to achieve. And this is basically the signature collection version of Tuscan leather, but there's just something so straightforward and so rugged and so powerful, but yet so straightforward about it that I just love. Just absolutely love that. And that's why I keep going back to it at the moment. And yes, this is the fragrance that I've worn the most recently. So that was my list. Please let me know down below, what fragrances can you just not turn away from right now? What fragrances do you just play on repeat consistently at the moment because you've just got the bug and you just love it? Anyway, if you're a newcomer to this channel, I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. I'm uploading pretty regularly at the moment, pretty consistently, very happy with that. There's more content like this every week. So please stick around, subscribe, like, leave a lovely comment, all that good stuff. Anyway, I'm the Fragrance Apprentice. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, I'm out.